Hey everybody, it's David Grandy from Grand Man Barbecue. Today I'm actually going to smoke a brisket, but before I even get down to smoking the brisket, I got to make the dry rub. And that's just, as I like to go with, I always make my own dry rub. It's all personal. I do it myself because there's a certain taste and certain flavor I'm after, and I'm going to go search for that flavor. So today I'm going to do it a little bit of I want a little spicier one, but I also want a little sweet in there. So I got my sugar, my salt, I got some black pepper, I got chili powder, red pepper flakes, I got minced onion, the dried minced onion. It's gonna be great. That's how you get that nice crisp bark. I also have some ground mustard, some garlic powder, and a little bit of lemon pepper. Lemon pepper is probably my favorite to go with. It complements the salt, the garlic powder. It goes together very, very well. So first thing we'll start off with, I like to start off personally with a little bit of garlic powder. Now, whenever you do garlic powder, you got to make sure you don't use too much of it. I don't know how to really describe how much you got to use. You got to use a decent amount, but not too much. Take it. All right, I'm gonna do about a quarter of this is gonna be garlic powder. As you can see, there's about a quarter of that right there. It's about a little bit of garlic powder. Nothing terrible. It's really simple. Goes great with everything. Can't go wrong with it. Then you do a little bit of lemon pepper. We do about half of it's gonna be, or you do a quarter. So whatever a quarter of the garlic powder I put in is about how much lemon powder I put in. Then you do a little bit of ground mustard, just enough to get that flavor. Ground mustard's a phenomenal flavor. It's a great binder too. And then so you do a little bit of minced onion. You want quite a bit of minced onion, only because it's going to give it that bark. That's what's really going to make that crisp on the outside, that crunch of a bark. That's phenomenal. Whenever you get a good bark on it, it's going to be good. You can do a little bit of crushed red pepper. You don't want to do a lot of crushed red pepper because red pepper goes a long way. Actually, you don't want to do a lot of red pepper. I mean, you can't do like. There's not a lot of red pepper in there. It's enough just to give it not only that bark, not only that flavor, but that bark as well. That bark really is going to be, that's what makes a brisket, if you ask me. How crusty is the outside. You do a little bit of chili powder. You don't want to do a lot of chili powder. Just chili powder a little bit goes a long way. And you're gonna take your black pepper. You want to do a good medium coat of black pepper on this. Salt, pepper is your basic, easy go-to. That's what you want on a brisket. Gotta have that salt, that pepper. There's the salt, the pepper is really what, it's easy, it's simple. It's like a basic go-to. SPG as we call it, salt, pepper, garlic. Do most of this you want to be salt. I say most of it, the majority of it you want to be salt. Like I said, salt and pepper is what really makes a brisket. Have you ever like come to a scenario where you don't have a lot of seasonings and stuff like that? You can use a simple SPG, salt, pepper, garlic, rub on your brisket. That's what's gonna be phenomenal. But if you want to do just a regular salt, pepper, garlic rub, make sure you get a coarse salt and a really, really coarse pepper. That's how you get that nice crisp bark. That's like what they call a Texas style brisket. Now you take a little bit of sugar and just regular cane sugar, nothing special. You buy it at the grocery store. Just take it. You want to do a little bit of this. This is what's supposed to be sweet. It's going to be like I wouldn't really call it a binder, but it's really going to be sweeter. And it's going to help it and bring it together. I'll show you guys now. I mix it up. So I'm going to take it. It's going to have a nice color to it. It's not anything really fancy. It really takes very, very little skill to make your own at-home rubs. And when I started doing it, I thought it was going to be hard. I thought this was going to be, something that's difficult. And it takes a lot. It's very time-consuming. It's really not. So you're actually going to get something that looks like that. It's actually not bad looking. It smells delicious. It's got a good color to it. I'm about to actually throw a little bit more chili powder in here because I want that dark, crisp, that dark brown red color. Sorry, I'm colorblind. When I say brown, I mean red. Apologize. A little more. Yeah, that should be good. And now we're getting a nice reddish color. The garlic powder, the salt, the pepper, or the garlic powder, the salt, and the sugar really makes it a white color. As you can see now, it's got a nice brown, red color, nice brown and red. And you got the mustard in there. All right, so before I forget, because I almost forgot, every time you smoke a meat, especially as a brisket, you want to keep it moist on the outside. That's what's going to really trap in that that smoke flavor, and it's gonna really make things much better. So what I do is I take a little bit of apple juice, right? You got your spritzer right here, a little bit of apple juice, just in, make a mess. You always gotta make a mess when you're doing it, right? Half apple juice, that's about half roughly. And then a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Not a lot of apple cider vinegar. You don't got this. Little bit goes a long way with this stuff. All right, so just a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and then top it off with a little bit of water, because water is really going to be. I love when you get go on with water. And take it, boom, just like that, and there's your spritzer. Now all I gotta do is whenever I get this brisket seasoned up and ready to go, yeah, just all I gotta do is spray it down every now and then. You want to keep it somewhat moist, but don't over moist it. Again, I'll show you whenever we get later on, whenever I actually get the brisket up on the smoker. And I'll show you guys how it looks and how I judge how much I need to spritz or not. But yeah, stay tuned, and it'll get a lot better when this meat gets going. All right, so I got my brisket right here. It's nice Angus premium brisket, USDA select. Let's see, so I'm gonna cut it open. I'm only gonna cook the flank today. I'll show you a second what I'm talking about. It's a flank. So you got. It's gonna come out. Hold on. I'm gonna show you how to trim it too, because you got to trim flank a certain way. So I'm gonna take. There we go. All nasty and bloody. So you have two different sides, right? So the side in this hand, right here. This is the point. Right, there's not a lot of fat on it. It's got the fat flap in the back, but that comes with that's where the brisket's cut from. So you have the flap, you have the point right here, and then you have the flank over here, which is the fatty, meaty side. And it's gonna be good. I'll show you how to cut it in 1 second. So you got the flank on this side, right, and you got the point on this end. The point is not as fatty; it's more lean muscle. The flank is going to have more of this fatty meat. So you're going to take your knife, you're going to cut some of this fat off. This fat you're not going to use. You can melt that down and make a broth out of it, or you can make you can make lard out of it, stuff like that. I'm actually probably going to do that. I'm probably going to cook that up, and I'm going to feed that to my dogs, because the dogs love fat, and it's actually pretty good for them. Off. The point is actually naturally fatty. It's got a lot of intermuscular fat, or marbling, that's the way we will call it. So you don't have to worry about cutting too much fat off, because there's gonna be a lot of good marbling inside of this point, or this flank. I mean, so it's off the side a little bit. I like to take it, I like to scrape this down a little bit, try to get some of that top layer off, so I have a lot less to work with. Simple. There. Alright, I like how this one looks over here. Check this side. I'm going to take some of this excess off the back end. So I like to keep a little bit of fat on there, because fat, what's going to do is actually absorb a lot of that flavoring, and then it's going to produce right back into your meat. So I'm going to take it, right, so this is, I think it was like a 12-pound brisket. So I'm going to take it, I want just a flank today, so I'm going to cut right around here. As you guys can see, that's got a nice intermuscular fat, or marbling. It looks all the way good up here. This will be the fat. This will be it's a fat side. So whenever I cook, right, I'm gonna cook it so it's gonna be fat side up. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my seasonings, set this on the side. I have my seasonings right here, right? So it's really simple. I'm gonna take a nice little handful, bring it over the top. You're gonna rub it in a little bit. So you pat it down. Make sure you want to get every last square inch of this meat face. Over. this side. Make a mess while you're doing it, because that's the key. You always gotta make a mess. Just like that. So now, go through, make sure I got all of it. And if I miss anything, just take it. Just down on it. All edges, all corners. Every last bit of this should be covered. Now what I'm gonna do is once this is done, I'm gonna set this and let it sit. I'm gonna set this, I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit and get the grill ready. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, so sorry, I know the outfit change is all weird. I had to run to work. They needed me to come do some dumb stuff. I don't know. Anyways, so I got the brisket out here, right? This beautiful hunk of meat. It's been sitting, marinating for a little bit. It looks, it smells, it's phenomenal. You can see how gorgeous this thing is. This whole in a party. So this is the flank again. I'm gonna take this when I put it on to smoke, and we'll put it so it's fat side up, because I want the fat to just seep into that meat, and it's gonna be good. The first thing I gotta do, all right, so what you wanna do is make sure that this is around 250, 275. Right now it's a little over 300. I don't like it, so I'm gonna close the vents. You know, you gotta regulate it a little bit. Close this top one a little bit. I'm gonna close this bottom one. All right, bottom one's closed. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this on. I'm gonna show you how to put it on in a second. I'm also gonna grab my my meat probes, so I can track where I want the meat to be at, or where the meat is gonna be at. So I'm gonna take this. Remember, whenever you put meat on, whenever you go to smoke meat, maybe you go to cook meat, however you wanna do it, the way you put the meat on is the way it's gonna cook. So if you want it to cook, so if you want the meat to cook, right, from this way over, and you want it to cook, it's whenever you do it, right. So if you want the heat on this side, heat going this way, right, it's gonna cook this way. That's the way it's gonna cook. It's gonna end up like that. So I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna put the meat on like this, right. So the heat's on this side. So the reason I'm doing that is because this is the thicker side, this is the thinner side. I'm going to get this side to get warm before the other one. So flip it over. Again, I got the fat side on top. It's all fat right there. Lay this down. Grab my meat probes right quick. I'm gonna take my meat probes, untangle them a little bit. And whenever I'm sticking in, I'm gonna put it on one side. Right, close to the fire. Pretty decently deep, because you want to be able to get the whole thing. And then I'm gonna take the other side, right up in here, away from the fire. Boom. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this thing start cooking. I'm gonna take, I'm gonna spritz it so it stays nice and wet, nice and juicy, and it keeps, it'll soak up some of that smoke, and it's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait. I will keep you up to date on this. I got to go change though, because I don't feel like being in uniform anymore. Hey guys, one thing I did forget to show you guys was how I set up my my meat, how I set up my charcoals, and how I set up the smoking chips. So I love myself some West. I'm actually using cherry for this one. This is the first time I actually used cherry on a brisket. So I think it's be pretty good. It's not one that a lot of people usually do. So if you take it, right, you can look and see. So I gotta take another piece of cherry right there. So what you want to do is you want to get that nice blue smoke. Got a piece of cherry. All right, I'm gonna place it right here on top of the fire, and that's what it's gonna cook. And it's gonna sit there, and like I said, right, so the heat's going this way. So cook this hot end first, then it's gonna cook all the way over. And right now, as y'all can see, I got my meat probes in there. I already spritzed it down. It's going up good. Stay tuned and see how this works out. So I got this has been on there for 5.5, almost 6 hours. I got 2 sheets of tinfoil going this way and this way because these aren't wide enough, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of brown sugar, just a little bit. You don't gotta do a lot. It's just for sweetness. That's all it is. All right, so take that, spread it around a little bit. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it with the tinfoil. So I got the brisket. It's looking beautiful. It's at the temperature I want, the 200 degrees internal. It's really, really soft. And I'm loving it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this really quick. I'm gonna throw it on that. All right. Ooh, it's warm. Make sure you guys have gloves when you do this. It's gonna be hot. Take the rest of this, sprinkle it on top. Alright, this is just to keep it sweet. Like I said, I'm going to have this sweet and a little bit of spice at the end of it. That's why I got the chili powder and the red pepper flakes on here. Boom. Now what you do is you're going to fold this up a little bit. Make a little boat out of it. Alright, here. Pull this up. Fold this in. Don't gotta be pretty. Try to get the job done, that's all. Set it up like this. As y'all can see, what I'll do is I'll take the beef broth right on top. Just like that. Soak all of it up. Just a little bit, not a lot. Put this up again. This will go back on the smoker for about another hour, just like I took it off. Right here. That's how I want it to look. Take this, right dead center. That's all I'm going to use. Close it back up. And here in about an hour or so, I'm going to take it back off, rewrap it, and soak in more beef broth. Alright, so the brisket is wrapped, has been wrapped for about 20 minutes now. It's been sitting well, actually almost an hour actually, on the smoker. So I'm going to grab it off the smoker. So it's actually set at great 190 degrees. I wanted it at 200, but you know, with brisket you don't ever cook to temperature, you always cook to feel. I'll show you what I mean by that in a quick second whenever I open this up. Man, I wish I could smell how freaking good this is. It smells phenomenal. So you take a little meat probe. If you go through, right, it should have very, very, very little resistance. It should feel like butter going straight through. Look, I can see how easy that is. It's crazy easy. So I'm gonna take this off really quick. It's been soaking in that. I'm actually gonna turn it fat side up now. All right, so I got sorry. Turn it. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it this way up. No, yeah, this way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take. Wrap it the exact same way I just did, and like this. All right, close this in. Like this side. Now what I'm gonna do is actually put more. I'll put more of this beef broth in it. What the beef broth is doing is actually going to soften it up, and it's going to absorb all of that flavor, and it's going to be amazing whenever it's done. Pour a little bit of beef broth right up in there. You ain't gotta do a lot of beef broth. It's like just enough to coat it. And you lay it down. And do a little more actually. A little more beef broth. Yeah, it should be good. Cover it up. Wrap it really quick. What you can do is you can take this wrap. You can put this wrap inside of a towel, and then put it inside of a cooler, so it does actually keep the heat. But I want this to cool down a little bit and really absorb all of that beef broth. Like I said, the beef broth, what it's going to do is it actually going to absorb, it's going to make it juicier. So whenever you cut into it, it should like leak juices. It's going to be great. So stand by until whenever I get this on the, I'm going to just set it on the counter. Stand by, it's going to be done in about 20 minutes or so. Alright, so it's sitting in its beef broth bath. I said that 3 times fast. For about 20 minutes now, so I'm about to open this puppy up and see how she smells, see how she looks. Let's cut her open. Hold on. If I can go ahead and open this thing. Oh my goodness, if only y'all could smell how delicious this smells. I'm excited, stoked. So close this up before it leaks everywhere. Alright, so whenever you cut a brisket, you always want to cut against the grain. This is going to be against the grain, right? So I'm actually going to take a nice... Let me cut that in half actually, I'm kind of curious. Oh my goodness. I don't think y'all can see how nice and soft this is. I'm going to cut a little more, hold on. Holy cow, look at this, right? It just tears right apart. That's going to be phenomenal. This is my piece right here, ready? Oh, that's good. That's going to be phenomenal. Let's make some amazing burgers or amazing sandwiches. Cut it roughly around like a 1/4 of an inch thick. As y'all can see where the fat is on this end. But you can see where that marbling was. This is going to just tear right apart. Ah, that's going to be so good. Put this on a sandwich later. Oh, delicious. Yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like. So if you get to the point where you squeeze it, see all that juices? Oh, I don't know if you can see that, but look at those juices coming out of it. That's what you want in a brisket. Yep, that's really it. It's honestly really simple. You can use the dry rub I made. You can use regular SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. You can do a little bit of onion powder. You can do whatever the hell you feel like using. I wanted to keep mine a little sweeter and then the spicy side. That's really get the nice part. Yeah, it's up to y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in to this one. And I'm going to keep eating, and y'all enjoy your night.